The scheduled meeting of the Egg Harbor Township Committee is being recorded for broadcast. Due to either technical reasons or topics that may properly be discussed in closed session pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, interruptions in the recording may occur. This meeting will be televised on EHT TV Channel 97 and posted on the Township's website. Pursuant to Egg Harbor Township Code, public comment is subject to established rules of procedure, including a 5-minute time limit, recognition by the mayor, and standards of decorum. Comments shall be directed to the governing body. Thank you. Can everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Castellano?
Here.
Hodson?
Here.
Ellis?
Here.
Palmer?
I am here. We have a presentation. Actually, we are recognizing May as Building Safety Month. Is Pat here? Right there. I don't know how I missed you, Pat. And I even went that down to get my glasses. Pete has done such a good job at reading.
Very good. Well, we have a proclamation recognizing May as Building Safety Month. Whereas our township is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and essential role our homes, buildings, and infrastructure play, both in everyday life and when disasters strike. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings make up our community is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas these guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, ICC, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes and standards to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas these modern building codes and standards include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods, and earthquakes. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by ICC to remind the public about the critical role of our community's largely unknown protectors of public safety, our code officials, who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And whereas Built to Last, the theme for Building Safety Month 2026, encourages us all to get involved and raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. And whereas each year, in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local, state, tribal, territorial, and federal building safety and fire prevention departments in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and Township Committee of the Township of Egg Harbor, County of Atlantic, and State of New Jersey do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Building Safety Month. Accordingly, I encourage our citizens to join us as we participate in Building Safety Month activities.
Pat, congratulations. You and everybody upstairs does an incredible job. Is there anything you'd like to say about what actually goes on upstairs so people here can understand?
You name it, it's going on. It's been busy. A couple new commercial businesses coming into town now too. So office lately.
So that is the month of June?
Okay.
May, month of May. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're still in April.
You do anything special for the month?
There are, we'll have some kits and stuff like that up there, pencils.
What was it? Ray else.
Where's the candy? Who wants a pencil? Well, thank you.
Just let everybody know how much we all appreciate everything that they do upstairs.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah.
The only question I got, Pat, is have we seen development like this years ago with the big projects?
In the early 2000s, yes.
Okay.
It's been a
I
while.
mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
I started in 07 here, and that was just at the end of the peak. Bottom, but we didn't hit bottom long. We were one of the towns that were still building.
We have a building room now, so,
Yes, we are.
yeah, I do.
And more coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Before we get into one resolution in particular, we have two ordinances we have to. Oh, I'm sorry, Harvey.
We'll do
right here. Harvey, could you come on up?
discussion.
Wait till the end.
We have an accountant here on March or April 15th, so I'm impressed. I know you don't do the tax part, but I'm impressed.
Thankfully, I stay out of that stuff. A little too hectic for me. Just want to first and foremost say thank you for once again appointing us as the auditor. We have completed the 2025 audit. We were in here fairly early this year, and it didn't trip up anybody at all. We were in here near the beginning of February, which is not normal. We were usually here in later March. But I knew I could reach out to Sharon because she would have her things ready for me. So I'm happy to report we had no audit findings this year. Once again, and also the management letter, the little separate letter that you receive, really just tells you a kind of a summary of the results. You did increase your valuation going along with what Pat was just talking about $9 million net this past year. Not a large increase, but it's not a negative. So you are at just about 140, or sorry, just under $4.2 billion is your net valuation here. For budget purposes, that would determine your penny rate. During the year, you increased your surplus just under $5 million. So this is over and above what was budgeted to be used. So you actually increased closer to $9 million in total. Largest contributors there were better than expected rate of collection on taxes. Your ambulance fees were up. You had a significant lease with the cell phone towers. So that all came in this year, as well as your cannabis tax. The last two I mentioned are not budgeted revenue. So they in effect go right into your surplus and replenish that $5 million that you had anticipated. We always want to see a surplus that stays at least level or up, and yours continues to go on an upward trend, which is good. It means you're recapturing more than you're using every year. So when you do your budget tonight, you will have an amount of surplus in there. Part of that process was to ensure that that surplus would be regenerated during the year. That way, next year, you're starting at the same starting line rather than 20 yards back. Those were the highlights of the audit. Honestly, there weren't a lot of other outside of your current fund operations really changed. This year, you will pay off the final payment on the Anchorage Point assessment note. And I believe there's only a few that haven't finished making the payments. And once that's done, that whole project will be finally completed. Outside of that, were there any questions on the audit or in general that I can answer?
I just went to the last page. I wanted to see what you wrote.
Yeah.
So,
So you mean I could just send over the last page?
as long as it's good.
Save some trees.
It's like, but no, that's good. So we're in a good position.
Yeah. Yeah, many towns currently have significant issues getting within the caps. Unfortunately, when the state of New Jersey puts a hard number in there, inflation exceeds that number, you have to find ways to make it work. And you guys were able to do that. I have several towns that just were stumbling around doing that, but you guys were able to get that in line without any real significant issue. So,
Very good. Thank you for all the hard work on that. And we'll tell Sharon and her staff and Tom, you and John, for all that you did.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Anybody have any questions? No?
All right, thank you.
Pretend you're a tax accountant tonight and go out and celebrate. All righty. Now we're going to go into those two ordinances. We have a public hearing on ordinance number 9. Mr. Friedman, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 9 is an ordinance authorizing a payment in lieu of taxes, otherwise known as a pilot agreement by and between the Township of Egg Harbor and the Atlantic County Improvement Authority and the Atlantic County, New Jersey Aerospace, LLC, for the construction of building number 2 at the National Aviation Research and Technology Park. The purpose of Ordinance 9, 2026 is to authorize the payment in lieu of taxes agreement for building number 2 at the Research Park and Technology Park, providing a revenue source for the township for an otherwise tax-exempt property. Thank you.
And this pretty much mirrors the first one.
It does mirror it. The building is smaller than the last one that was constructed, so the amount of revenue to us, which is a percentage of the rental income, is smaller than last year. It's about a third smaller, not last year, but it's about a third smaller than building number 1. Yes, and there is a connection now to Stockton University, which is taking up a lot of space there now as a source for a training program and their uses as well. Yeah.
And just talk of a third building.
Well,
That would be great. That's great for all of us. That's great for all of us. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to address governing body on ordinance number 9? Seeing none, could I have a motion to close the public portion?
Make a motion.
Roll call, please.
Castellano,
Yes.
Hodson,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
and Frommer.
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 9?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano,
Yes.
Hodson,
Yes.
Ellis, Frommer.
Yes. Ordinance number 10 for introduction, please.
For introduction, Ordinance 10 is an ordinance authorizing the sale of various properties to the New Jersey Department of Transportation along Route 40 for the Atlantic County Drainage Project in accordance with New Jersey Statute 48:12-13D1. The purpose of this ordinance is to sell portions of township-owned property to the New Jersey DOT in connection with their expansion of the drainage project along Route 40 in West Atlantic City. A public hearing on Ordinance 10 will be held on May 6, 2026 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 10?
I'll make it.
Can I have a second? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Castellano,
Yes.
Hodson,
Yes, I just hope this is advertised to the residents because that's Route 40 improvements, correct? Of what they're going to do there?
Tom, is this for the Route 40? This is for part of it, yeah. Is there?
Yes, and this is just pieces of our property, not any
Okay.
one lot individual.
Yes.
Sections they're using for construction easements and
Yeah,
stuff
the
like that.
stack equipment. Okay.
Frommer.
Yes. Okay, we're going a little out of normal order, and we are going to go to, I'm trying to find it here. Resolution 163.
It's right here.
I actually want to just see the names. That's what I'm looking for. They're not on this one, so there they are. There we go. All right.
Sorry.
We have ordinance number 163, appointing police officers. Resolution appointing Francis Wright, Diego Alicia, Joseph Hughes, William Deckler, Daniela Nunez, Cameron Viola, Lucas Engel, and Anthony Martino as police officers. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 163?
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Castellano,
Yes.
Hodson,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Frommer.
Yes.
They're outside. I believe they're just coming in now.
Chief, can we bring them all in? Yeah, there's not. Are we going to do,
This is probably the biggest.
I think we're going to do 4 at a clip. I think it's going to be easier that way. Changed our minds. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. We wouldn't do that to you, promise. But what we're going to do is, if you would like to have your families come up and hold a Bible or be stand next to you while you do this, and you take your oath, feel free to invite them up. That's why we're going to break it down to fours. So if you would like your families or anyone to come up with you, bring a Bible to put your hand on.
Hey, Mayor, what did they get? Buy one, get one free? They all dressed alike.
Their initial issues.
Got shoes alike, dressed alike. They're going to buy one, get one free, or y'all just call each other? What you wear? What you wearing?
All right, we got a couple.
Yeah.
Okay, this is better.
They coordinate.
We have an extra one up here.
Want them standing face the crowd.
Yeah, we're going to have you probably face the crowd so that you'll get off the TV the right way. We've got a Bible here if we need it.
Pastor Kip.
As long as they read.
I don't think there is. There always is one.
That's what happens. Oh, there's a big one here.
I was gonna say there's one more in there too.
This one.
found
We
it.
have another one. Another one.
Yay.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Is there another one in here too?
Just that one that she just found.
Sit down.
Okay. Put your hand on there. All right, let's have you all broken into like your family groups. We're going to have them face, they can come back here a little bit. It might be easier. There's more room. This is the biggest group we've had since I've been here, I think. I don't think we've had 8 go in at one time. This is amazing. Okay.
Hard one.
All right.
You can have 2 hands on one Bible.
Yeah. And since we have so many chiefs, can we, before we swear them in, can we introduce each one of them before we swear them in, or have them say their names?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm not going to say that.
They are. So we'll start right down at this end. Your name, please.
My name's Cameron Viola.
Very good. Right in front of me.
My name is William Belcher. My name is Diego Alcea.
Very good. All right, gentlemen. Raise your right hands. Everybody ready? Okay, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, William Alcea,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of the office of police
perform all the duties of the office of police
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the government established
to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of these people,
under the authority of these people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
All right. Right here. So now we're going to ask you just step back there for a moment, and then we're going to bring the other 4 in.
Can I use that camera?
What's up, man? What's up?
This is good. All right.
Congratulations.
Look, you got the
All
little,
right.
hey, where you get the little
Okay.
copy? Where you get the little copy?
There's one right there.
There you go.
Okay.
Congratulations.
And they're quick learners. We're all doing it already, so this is good.
They just need to show.
All right.
Well, nice cut, man.
Everybody set?
Cut.
All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to ask you to introduce yourselves.
Daniela Nunez.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of officer of police to the best of my ability. I do further solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the government established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. Congratulations. I think they're going to, when it's all done, you're going to take a big family picture outside. But right now, I would just like our new officers to please stay here and all come up.
Where's Danielle? Oh, there.
Chief, I know that we have 3 members, former members of the police department up here with us. So, you know, you guys are very special to all of us. So we want to make sure that all of you are safe, first and foremost, and then you represent this town with pride and honor. That's what we expect out of you. And also, as I said, walking in, we want you to be 1 through 8 in the academy. So, think they can do that, Chief?
I think so. Yes, I hope so. We
Yep.
want some awards this time.
We do.
do. And I think this group can do it. So, you want me to say some remarks? All right. So, Mayor, I know I told you before that I was going to put my words on paper to keep me focused, and I did. I know Captain Keene is probably very happy. But so while today is about our EHT police recruits, we're not all here today if not for the hundreds of hours of investment by those behind the scenes. The day or hour solely dedicated to you will come, and that'll come hopefully and during your anticipated graduation from the Atlantic County Police Academy several months from now. But first, thanks and appreciation go to the citizens of Egg Harbor Township, where through their elected officials, our governing body, our township administration, we were able to facilitate the appointment of 8 police officers. I mentioned the hundreds of hours invested because hiring a certified police officer is not simple as submitting an application and having them simply vetted to select a person. The investment started many months ago, if not a year ago, through our recruitment efforts, application process, then the written exam, physical exam for those that passed the written exam, then the in-person assessment, vetting by our CIB, or our Criminal Investigation Bureau, our detectives, then the background investigation, then the oral interviews with command staff, then the oral interviews with governing body. And then, because it doesn't stop at that point, another physical fitness exam at the academy, medical and psychiatric exams, police licensing applications, and so on and so on. The efforts of many people working behind the scenes, member from the Police and Community Services Bureau, where it starts, then to the Criminal Investigation Bureau, physical fitness instructors, Office of Professional Responsibility, our command staff, our professional staff, many members from the patrol division, with scheduling and organizing are not forgotten. And to accomplish all this is under a very strict timeline was quite an accomplishment. That is why you're here today. And you are here. I don't know why I repeated myself there. That is why you are here today. The efforts for you all to be appointed tonight by others must not go unnoticed. So that's why I recognize everyone, and many of them are in this room. Many hours, people don't understand. We're very limited with time these days. And to to invest what we had to put into this hiring process in a very strict timeline that's it's really put upon us by the state. This is quite the accomplishment, and so we're thankful for those efforts. So with that being said, for you 8 to reach this moment, it is about you and what you represent now. Based on your past, your upbringing, your credentials, how you previously handled adversity in your lives, and obviously your performance throughout this process. If you if you recall when you first arrived and you're sitting to take that written test, you remember what I said, is it in you? And I'm just going to remind you, if you're coming here or you're taking this position with the mindset that you're going to go get your PTC certification and go elsewhere, you might want to reconsider. It's not too late. Don't waste our time. So, just to be frank. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But that's what I had mentioned to you, and you're here. For those of you that want to commence a career with the Egg Harbor Township Police Department, we want to, you hold yourself to a higher standard. Be a professional, lead by example, hold yourself accountable in your personal and professional lives. Look sharp and professional in appearance, communicate well, verbally, written, nonverbal, listening skills. Be ethical and moral. Do what's right when no one is looking. You weren't in the room, but if you many here heard how the township is growing, we are going through a growth spurt. We are not a slow, sleepy town. We are busy. So you're here to save lives by engaging in regular traffic enforcement efforts. You're here to make a positive difference with the less fortunate in our community and those that traverse through our community. You're here to arrest violators of the law without provocation from a supervisor, meaning you take the initiative. You go find the lawbreakers. You're here to self-initiate police-related activities, which I just mentioned, and you're here to continually improve the law enforcement image, which we sorely need these days. So if it is in you, then our agency is most likely the fit for you. So a couple of things I just wanted to point out. During our interviews, we ask a question. What is the single most important quality for a police officer to have and why? And I'm just going to note what each person said here tonight. Luke Engel, professionalism and work ethic. Joseph Hughes, or Joey. Who's Joey? Integrity. William Delcher, integrity and communication. Cameron Viola, humility. Daniela Nunez, composure and resiliency. Diego Alicia, said it right. His description and how he explained it was omnipresence. And Francis Wright, discipline and empathy, and Anthony Martino, responsibility. So their responses are just a snapshot, but it is during the interview phase before 5 police commanders who throughout the interview are evaluated and constantly assessing on whether the person before us is authentic, genuine, credible, and honest. We're determining who will be the best fit for our organization, our culture, and who will be a good fit for our service population. So it is our belief that we have been very successful in selecting the right person for our community, to serve our community. We want people of high character with a strong moral compass. We want people who are doing the right thing, as I mentioned, when no one is looking. We want people to embrace the concept of what President Calvin Coolidge once said: no one is compelled to choose the profession of a police officer, but having chosen it, you are obliged to live up to the standard of its requirements. You want to wear the Egg Harbor Township Police Patch, you will need to embrace and abide by what is expected from you. Do the little things right, provide high quality work, and as I mentioned earlier, always work to improve the law enforcement image. You are all here because many people in this agency believe in you, have faith in you, and are a good fit for us. So the journey for you all has really just begun, and we hope to see you on the stage many months from now. Congratulations on your achievement thus far. Thank you.
Chief, I think it's a tribute to the process that we have so many people from the department in the back. We have the records people here. We've got dispatch here. We've got so many people from the PD side of the building in the room after hours. It's a tribute to the process that we have here and the hope and the wishes to you guys and gals that you do so well. So listen, thank you all for being here. I know we've got a couple people here that want to say a few things. And Ray, I'm going to start with you. Oh no, you want to start with you.
Listen, good luck to all of you. It's a great profession. We'll sit back here after so many years and say, and remember things that you'll do on the job that help the public and help our country. There's many, many things you'll say, I never would have done that selling cars down the road. I did it as a police officer. People look up to you. The chief does a good speech. I don't know who wrote that for him, but it's very good. Okay, it's a great job. I don't know how I made it for 25 years, but I did. And do your best. Look yourself in the mirror, do your best. When you get to the academy, I don't want to say it's a game, but it might be the most difficult thing you have in your life so far is to get through that academy. Do the notes, listen, work, be physically fit, and stay physically fit. Now, I look at Ellis and I said, man, I think I'm in better shape. But you need to be in physical shape. Just a small story. Recently, a kid said to me, you know, you used to chase me down the back alley in Summers Point and catch me? I was in pretty good shape as a 21-year-old cop. And I stayed in good shape thanks to the Army with their ideas about physical fitness. So stay in shape. Work at it, and stay in shape and make us proud of you, as I'm proud of every cop I ever see anywhere, because it's a tough job. And I love the people that like to say, oh, the cops don't do much. They got nothing better to do. But when people need a cop, they don't give a damn where that cop's coming from, but you get there to handle the problem. Whether it's locked on the bad guy, taking the poor old lady who fell down in the street. That's your job. And that's why I always say it, public safety is the backbone of a community. If you have a kitchen fire, you want a fire truck. You don't care where it came from. You need a cop, you don't care where he got from or where he came from. And if you need an ambulance, we got the best ambulance squad in the Township. So give it the best. And good luck to all of you. And I hope to see you on that stage. If the chief tells me about graduations, I'll show up. I'll bring Ellis with me.
Mr. Castellano, would you like to say anything?
Just want to congratulate you all, wish you the best of luck. We're very proud of you. It was our honor and privilege to get to meet you all ahead of time. Honor and privilege to be here tonight for your swearing in. So.
All right, since Committeeman Hudson didn't give war stories about when he was a cop, I want y'all to listen well. It's a thing called the id, the ego, and the super ego. Make sure you know what that means. Because a lot of you young cops, you know, we all young, we make bad decisions, but you're in a whole different category now. Don't be Superman. Superman is mild-mannered Clark Kent like you look today. Then when you put that police uniform, all of a sudden you're faster than the speed of light, more powerful than a locomotive train. You know, make sure you be careful, be yourself, and don't turn it. A lot of times, from my experience watching young guys and cops come on the job, they turn. You know, you're a nice guy, and then all of a sudden the job tends to make you a little hard. Then you tend to think you're above the law. Another thing about being above the law, I like telling you young cops, don't be a hypocrite out there. A lot of us was hypocrites on the police department. You go ahead and you stop people from drinking and driving, you get off 12 o'clock shift and you in the bar. So make sure you set examples in this job. You know, just because this one do something, that one do something, people are watching you. It's not like, you know, other professions where people don't watch. They watch you, everything you do, they're going to take notice of it. So make sure when you're in public, you know, make sure you represent the police department. We had the best police department, not in the county, not in the state. And if you ever going anywhere, go to Florida, or South Carolina, or Georgia, EHT represent. And I'm proud of all you young folks. And I can't tell stories like Committeeman Hudson because he was a Summers Point cop. I was Atlantic City cop. It's a different story. So good luck. Y'all look good. And hey, but where's Pastor Kevin? Pastor Kevin, those boys don't think you like the ushers. They look like ready for church. Oh, they look good. Look like you're ready for church. All right. Mm-hmm.
I told them we get the sports jackets.
Yeah, nothing about to get one free. Yeah, they all kids do. They look good.
But we truly do
Best-
wish you all
best
the
guys
best.
and gals. Good luck.
Yeah. Chief?
No, I just wanted to, one of the things I forgot to mention, this is a unique thing going on here, hiring 8 at one time. It's the last time it happened, I think Chief Retired Hughes, it was his group back in, 1994? 3. All right. So you 8, you need to work together. You need to be teammates. When you go to the police academy, if you see one of your classmates, your peers, remember this is EHTPD, you're wearing our patch. You need to work together and assist one another. And I also don't want you to feel like, we have a lot of high expectations for this group, but also you'll have a liaison that'll work with you while you're in the academy. So you're human. That's to come expected, and you might have challenges that come your way during the academy. That's okay. You'll get through it. But that's where you'll work with your liaison with the department. So, but the bottom line is we expect kind of perfection, but we also expect perfection as a team, as a unit. Understood? Okay.
Thank you, Chief. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck to you all. And if you want to go up front now and take some pictures, I think, we will do that. That's Best of luck.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, you still got a reference? Oh, we get 2 seconds.
Oh, we got double
Double six, huh? Double six, huh? All right.
Double. Good luck.
Yeah, that's all right. I prefer that. I remember. You did. Everybody did that meeting.
What's up, man? What's up? Good. See,
How are you?
I haven't seen you in years. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
What's up?
I'm impressed.
I'm ready.
We're going to take a moment until everybody clears the room.
Right, yeah. Mrs. Delton. Where's Mr. Delton? Where you go? Oh, he went to take pictures?
They went out like,
And I feel like, I don't know if I even knew or not, but my father.
What street? Oh, sure. His father. Yeah. Absolutely. That's your father?
One of their hands.
Yeah, I knew that. In fact, Tick was my.
I'm dying.
Yeah, but I know Tick too. Yeah.
My father has.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh, Vic is? Well, he was my age. We went to school together. Yeah. Well, Summer Spring was a good town. The other day, I went and got a haircut yesterday, and the barber has this book about Summers Point.
this is
Tell everybody I said hello.
All right, as soon as everybody clears out, we're going to keep the meeting going.
We're going.
Hey.
All here? Okay, I think we're all here.
So I got the
Okay.
report.
Oh, I know. You need to know who the trustees are. Right?
Yeah.
All righty.
So are there any changes or what?
Yeah. You need to check.
Write them down. I'll probably,
You ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Later.
It's me, Russ. I don't know who the third one is.
Yeah, where did everybody
That was a
go?
great group of people. We wish them nothing but the best.
Send a cert to you and you'll.
All right, we are now moving on to the budget introduction, Resolution 164, authorizing the introduction of the 2026 municipal budget. And if you will all bear with me, I'm going to read the budget message on the record. On behalf of the Township Committee, I am pleased to present the 2026 municipal budget for Egg Harbor Township. This budget reflects our continued commitment to fiscal responsibility, maintaining essential services, and positioning the township for long-term stability and success. The 2026 municipal budget is $56,944,522, representing an increase of $3,683,173 over the 2025 adopted budget. With the local purpose tax will increase by 1.8 cents. Within the $3.6 million increase, salaries and wages are up $1,142,785. Operating costs are up $1,553,812. Capital expenditures are up $1,366,648. Appropriations related to state aid, this is disappointing, is down $580,000, as we anticipate less assistance from the state of New Jersey while continuing to meet the elevated threshold for unfunded mandates across all of our departments. This year's appropriations include the use of a portion of surplus from the sale of a cell phone tower in 2025. $1.8 million from the sale of that tower will be reinvested into the Township Community Center. Improvements will include building maintenance, security, and IT upgrades. Also, a police communications substation will be constructed as an auxiliary location. The Township is also working with the Office of Emergency Management to prepare itself for future states of emergency through the purchase of a new generator for the community center. These reinvestments from the proceeds of the sale of the cell tower will put the Township in a position to be prepared regardless of what disaster we may face. The Township Committee continues to maintain the lowest municipal tax rate among all full-service municipalities in Atlantic County, with a local purpose tax of 6.69%. And that's saying a lot. We are the largest population in Atlantic County and have the lowest rate, so that's good. The state imposes two caps on the municipal budget. The first is the spending cap, which limits expenditures from year to year. The township spending cap is under the state allowable limit. Municipalities also have a tax rate levy cap. This budget is $2,965,434.51 under the maximum amount allowed to be raised by taxes. The major increases in the budget expenditure for 2026 include multiple software purchases, including human resource software, GPS for vehicles, cameras for vehicles, and innovative AI software for the management of street conditions. Increases in insurance costs from the healthcare insurance increase of $1,374,351 total, an 18% increase from 2025. But comparatively, the state health benefits, which we got out of a few years ago, increased 36.5% during the same time frame. That's insane. Liability insurance increased $164,351, or 9.1% from 2025. The township realized savings in salaries and wages of budget in certain departments due to retirements of tax collectors, clerks, and police records department. The overall salary and wages in the 2026 budget saw an increase of 5.66%, or $1,142,785. Notable increases are 20.44% for ambulance service, 24.25% for dispatch service, and 8.27% for police services. The primary driver of these increases can be attributed to two factors. The New Jersey minimum wage has increased 40.82% since 2020, going from $11 to $15.92. The rate of increase of the minimum wage has led to pressure the township to increase all of the bottom tiers of the pay scales in an effort to stay ahead of the curve. Employees who have been with the township for multiple years should be making more than new hires, and increases being given in the 2026 budget are reflective of achieving that goal. In the area of dispatch services, the township has expanded its responsibilities through shared services agreements. A review of the entry-level salaries across Atlantic County indicate that the township has been below market averages for starting salaries. Consistent with broader wage pressures, including increases in the state's minimum wage, this budget includes targeted adjustments to address the gap, ensuring the township remains competitive and attracting new talent while maintaining fairness for existing employees with years of service. The township experienced approximately $84 million worth of new construction in 2025, creating $562,000 in new revenues for the municipality. The Township Committee controls less than 20% of the total tax bill. An average homeowner will now pay $1,477.64 a year, or $28.42 per week in taxes, with the 1.8 cent increase. All other taxes collected will be distributed to Atlantic County and to the Egg Harbor Township School District. For $1,477, the average residence receives all basic services such as trash collection, police, ambulance, and fire protection, recreational opportunities, road maintenance, and other administrative functions which are necessary to operate a $56 million business. The Township Committee has been working on a fiscal stabilization plan of reducing the overall debt payment by the Township. Township debt has fallen in the past several years in a row. In 2024, the Township paid down $4,333,000 in principal debt. In 2025, we paid down $4,405,000 in principal debt. Through diligent fiscal management, the Township Committee is proud to anticipate $4,500,000 in principal debt payments being made in 2026. Due to the declining interest rate and current payment schedule, the Township Administration is anticipating going out to bond this year in an effort to restructure any long-term debt for more favorable interest rates, while giving us the liquidity necessary to fund and implement the Township's 6-year capital plan. The Township has a bond rating of AA- stable. The Township has shared service agreements with Linwood, Longport, Northfield, and Pleasantville to provide dispatching services. The Township has a shared service agreement with the City of Pleasantville for information technology services and construction code official. The Township has a shared service agreement with the City of Summers Point to provide EMS services. The Township has a shared service agreement with the Egg Harbor Township School District for Class 3 police officers in their school. In closing, this budget reflects a balanced and responsible approach, addressing rising costs, investing in critical services, and maintaining a long-term financial stability for our residents. I would like to thank the members of Township Committee, the Township Administration, the various department heads, the chiefs of police, fire, and EMS for a budget that is fair and responsible to our residents. Thank you. So can I have a motion to introduce the budget?
I'll make a motion. That was a great statement of a picture of what goes on in this township. We have to meet our needs to make a good community, and we're doing our best to maintain control. If you saw the increase in the state health care, we were lucky to have gotten out of it and not have to pay that 37% increase.
6.8%.
And, we're doing our best to control taxes. So I'll make a motion.
And I have a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call?
Castellano?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Ellis? Frommer?
Yes. We have a resolution consent calendar. We're going to pull resolution 172 because it is no longer needed. We have resolutions 165 through and including 180. Can I have a motion, please? Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano?
Can I make a couple of requests? I know folks are here to speak on an 8, and I'm wondering if we may be able to split that off to allow them to speak before we consider it. That would be my first request.
Do that. Okay, so we're going to take, I'll go back again, 165 through and excluding 172. 172 has been pulled. 178 we'll do next through 180. Can I have a motion for those, please?
You want it?
We already did a motion for that.
Oh, we have a second for that? Mm-hmm. All right, so
We'll do.
all right, so we just need a roll call on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call. He
Yes.
already went. So okay.
Castellano?
Yes.
Hodson? Ellis?
Yes.
And Frommer?
Yes. Before we do 178, I think I'm going to do the consent calendar just so that we get the supplemental so it gets out.
Yeah.
So we have resolutions 183 through 186. Can I have a motion for those?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes.
Frommer?
Yes. Tom, before we do 178, what was this?
So
Well, resolutions had 70.
179.
Yeah, when it was published, it had additional papers that shouldn't have been attached to it it was accident. So this is the clean sheet, which you should have in, which was republished.
So this is republished. I just want to make sure
Yes, this is what's out on.
this is on
our
public
site.
record. Okay.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Yep. And I had it at the bottom.
Bill gave
unfortunately.
it to me.
I have it too. So, okay, very good. All right, we've got resolution 178. Can I have a motion on that?
Make a motion.
Can I have a second? Roll call, please.
Ellis? Castellano?
We just agreed that the folks were going to speak on it before we voted.
All right. That's right, we did. We did.
All right, anyone?
It's resolutions. Okay. If you're here to speak on resolution 178, please come on up and say what you have to say. And bear in mind what the attorney said earlier, what this was about. So we're not going to go over the details of the plan because we haven't officially seen any plan yet.
Yeah.
On what this is for? Mr. Friedman, could you just? All right, he's going to repeat what he said.
Yeah, now that, just a point of clarification, now that 178 is pulled from the consent calendar, we don't normally open up to the public to discuss resolutions. We do obviously for
Right.
ordinance. Was this, my question is this part of the open public session? Or is this?
Well, we could do it one of two ways. We could just make this a complete public session at this point.
I would suggest that you do that because otherwise you're going to be,
Okay, then that's what we're going to do. So this is the public session. Can I have a motion to open the public session?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano?
Yes.
Hudson? Ellis?
Yes.
Farmer?
Yes.
and I'll be happy if you wish me to give an introductory statement concerning 178.
Absolutely would.
So
Can you all hear now?
For those of you who might not have heard in the galleries, 178 is a memorandum of understanding. That's what the Township Committee has to discuss tonight as to whether or not they're going to approve that. That resolution is coming between the adoption of the redevelopment plan that's already been adopted by the Township Committee and before the approval and introduction of a developer's agreement. So in the preliminary discussions that were had, the governing body has appointed 3 representatives, being myself, the engineer, as well as the administrator, to engage with the developer concerning concerns that have come either from the governing body as well as from the public. And we wanted to demarcate what those concerns were from the normal site plan approvals that the planning board would normally be handling. So we decided that in agreement with the developer to have the issues of the bulkhead, parking along O'Byrne Drive, and a potential traffic signal on the causeway to be issues that are discussed and limited to the governing body making those calls. So your input on those issues are important to us to help our negotiating team in dealing with the developer. All the other issues are normal site plan issues that are going to be handed off to the planning board and once they file an application, and there'll be public hearings on that. But this memorandum of understanding is strictly limited to demarcating those 3 issues from the other issues that are there. So hopefully that gives you some understanding as to what this resolution is all about. And your comments obviously are welcome so that we can take that back to them and hopefully come up with reasonable compromises to how to deal with those public right-of-ways, that being the causeway as well as O'Byrne Drive, and the bulkhead that's to be constructed and ultimately elongated by the township past where the area of redevelopment is as demarcated on their plans. So if any member of the governing body has any questions before we proceed to hear from the public.
I think we're good. Did you understand that? Does everybody understand that? Okay, great. Mrs. Zarnicki?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Castellano, for requesting that. It's very appreciated, and essentially it means that people of the Township Committee are listening to us and appreciate your explanation.
Zarnicki, even though I just said your name, can you put your name for the record, please?
Yeah, Jen Zarnicki.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, I just have some concerns. You know, we saw this MOU, and one of the things that I noticed back on November 20th was an email from Tom D'Antino directly to Mr. D'Antino from Sean Scarborough. And essentially what it entails is that there's an extension of the bulkhead beyond where he owns property. So that's one huge issue, meaning people who have riparian rights, us included, because we do have them as well, all along O'Bear Drive. The people who already have license and legal docks, how are we addressing? We're going to rip their docks up. So this MOU says bulkhead, but doesn't explicitly indicate that we're extending it, like you had just notated, beyond where it currently is. That's a very big issue. Very big issue. There is an email confirmation of that email back from Mr. D'Antino, and Mr. Friedman, you are copied on that email. That was on December 4th, 2025, before Ordinance 35 was voted on. So lots of stuff is happening before things are being voted on. Now, I don't know if the rest of the Township Committee members were aware of this. This is huge. You're talking about taking people's property. He does not own past that bulkhead.
I can tell you right now, we're not going to take any, no one, first of all, this hasn't even been approved yet, but
This is why we're here.
Nobody can take property that doesn't belong to, if it belongs to you.
Oh.
It belongs to you.
It does. It does. It belongs to those people. But taking a bulkhead and extending it is a huge discussion, because that means there's docks that are in the way of that. There are docks that go from the right of way, okay, to out to the lagoon. And this was, again, this is 18 years ago now. I think it was 17 years ago last year. Now we're hitting 18 years ago, where folks had already gone through this whole, litigation, and there was a, lawsuit, et cetera. There are other emails prior to that a year ago where I've got Jen Heller, who is the planner, right, talking about how Danielle Kelly certified this map, right, to include all the way up to where the developer owns land. Okay, not the right of way, because it's not owned by the developer. And that's an issue as well. And that's part of what's in here, the right of way, right? And we're looking to put up, I've seen the plans. I've talked to engineers myself, talked to planners. We've, worked with these people ourselves, council, all that fun stuff. The issue is how are we justifying that this is going to be part of this MOU tonight? We're going to just vote on it as a resolution and move forward when that hasn't been addressed in the actual resolution. Let me just finish here. There is a concern. The Jetty Bar LLC is fee owner of these certain tracts of land. He's not fee owner of the right of way. He does not own the right of way. He's not fee title owner. That's proven. We know that. So that's an additional concern. The other concern is we talk about, it says without the use of eminent domain. If you're going to take a right of way that's not owned by the developer, owned by others, and you're going to change it into something that it currently isn't, because there is no public parking, there are wetlands, there's spartina, there's all kinds of creatures, animals, etc. in that right of way. You're going to develop it and change it into something it isn't. You're taking that from others. That's where that's eminent domain. You're taking something that is not owned by that person, and it wasn't approved by the DCA because it's an environmentally sensitive area. It's a PA5. This is why we're here tonight, because these things that are in this resolution, they're not addressed in here. This is going to move forward. We're going to have more time to come. I'll be here in 8 weeks talking about the same thing. That's why we're trying to stop it here. Let's remove it from this resolution. Let's put the real facts of what's actually going to happen, that the bulkhead is moving past where it was originally intended. And, I've done a lot of, if you've looked at the DEP, and when Daggett, the previous owner, was denied, he was denied for a vertical bulkhead, because the vertical bulkhead doesn't necessarily stop wave action. We're in a velocity from where excuse me, where the Atlantic Ocean is over where Seaview Harbor comes over. There's a velocity there. I think we're in an AE10 flood zone. So a vertical bulkhead may not be the best way. That's why they had put in a sloped. And you would know this. You're an engineer, and I've talked to several other engineers about the whole process. I don't want to get into the engineering because I'm not. I can't. But this is why we're concerned.
And I don't blame you. And I don't blame you. And I know you feel like you're getting a lot of runaround from us, but I know this, and Mark, I'm going to defer to you and to Tom for a minute, because from my understanding, all this does tonight is says these 3 issues are going to stay with the Township Committee with no decision. And we haven't even seen anything regarding this yet. So formal. I mean, there's a lot of, you can go online and find everything you want, but you know what? Until someone puts it in front of us, that's where we start the clock.
I understand. And it's in front of you, though. That's the problem.
But it's not. From what my understanding, all this is tonight is saying that these issues, these 3 issues in particular, are going to stay with us. And the site plan and the look at the approval for the plan or turning down of the plan is going to come from the planning board. Am I correct in that understanding? So
I understand. I get all of that, but these 3 issues, these 3 issues are grouped into very high, non-explicit issues. They're not explained at all. Again, I mean, haven't been. This is the part I think you're one step ahead of us in this sense. It's all the legal. Everything we do has to take a legal walk down the path, and that's what this does. This separates those issues and puts them on our jurisdiction. The site plan and looking at the restaurant and everything else that's being planned out there is going to the only thing that we're doing tonight is saying that these 3 issues, parking on Oberon Drive, the traffic light, and the bulkhead, are going to stay with us. And if this passes, what this means is every one of us up here has to get educated on the traffic light, on Oberon Drive, and on the bulkhead. And we have to see what they want to do and how they're going to do it. That's all tonight is about. It's not denying. It's not approving. It's only saying that the committee is going to take these things under our control. The rest goes to the planning board. But you're still moving forward with the intent to take away land.
We're in a process right here.
So it's eminent. So we're considering Oberon Drive, the right of that's considered eminent domain then.
We're not considering eminent domain.
But you're taking it, right?
Right of way has already been established.
Yeah, I know it's established.
And that means.
But you're taking it for the use for a private.
No, it's no private.
For a commercial marina. Yes.
No, we're not. Yeah. There will be no private parking.
It's still it's still being used. So
you know what? It's also being used for the right. This is why
haven't we done this then 15 years ago? Why was the last time parking was addressed was 17 years ago when the marina was being proposed? And why was it 17 years ago when the bulkhead? Why was that not been addressed? I've come up here multiple times and asked you and said, I'm willing to talk and help improve Oberon Drive, but only when a marina is proposed. That's when the township is interested in helping the community on Oberon Drive. And that's really where we're tired of arguing with the township committee and not listening to us. And I think this resolution, the last time I came in here before Ordinance 35, and I said, we have this plan, and it doesn't align with what's at the DEP. Okay, the plan does not align with what's at the DEP. I'm very well aware of what's at the DEP. The issue with that is, I said there was a blue Toyota Tercel parked. I said you have pictures from the 80s and the 90s outlining what our neighborhood looks like. These are an official documentation that the township committee members are looking at, that the public is looking at.
And they were
That's
labeled,
frustrating.
ma'am. They were labeled as the picture taken from the 80s.
They were not, but you didn't have recent. And I said, Mayor Frommer, I said,
Please listen to our attorney, because this is a very technical thing, and we're not trying to shove, this has been taking a long time.
that's because because we stopped it multiple times. Like that's why it's taking a long time.
We haven't even seen the project yet.
We saw a plan. There was a plan. You gave us it. And there was a master plan analysis. Hey, you've seen the plan.
I've seen it, but it's not.
You keep saying we haven't seen the. This is why we're frustrated. We're asking you to take a step back, think about what's in 178, because we see it as eminent domain, extending a bulkhead way past where it was supposed to be, not analyzing what that bulkhead should actually be, not looking at previous DEP records from 2009 that stated a vertical bulkhead is not going to stop this. And we all know what happens over time. We've got significant flooding issues. We need to look at maybe we need to look at other options for a bulkhead. And we work with the community. And I think Pete brought up a great point prior to being part of the committee. You know, is there some funding we can get? Is some grants? I'd be happy to work with you, Pete, on that. I'm very good at writing those types of things, and we're interested in that. So I'm asking the people of the Township Committee to take a step back and think about this resolution. Yes, we're not voting on things tonight, but we're voting on moving forward with something that we'll be having the same conversation.
Actually, voting on something that gives us more control should this pass the planning board.
That's what's happened the last 15 times that we've been up here.
Never gone to the planning board.
Well, the planning board doesn't really listen to anything we say. I've been, disrespected by the planning board many times. And to be quite honest with you, I've had a lot more respect at the Township Committee being able to get our points across and say, look into these issues. Again, we asked about eminent domain at the planning board. We're not taking anybody's land. Right away is somebody's land. It's public land. I'm sorry?
Mayor?
It's what? I'm sorry?
It's public in that sense.
You might want to, yeah. It's
Are we done with the speaker?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we are done.
Thank you. Any other?
I'll be quick. I will. John Gretzko, 12 O'Burn Drive, right in the middle of all this. Grandfather, lots of grandchildren. They're down all summer. They play in the street and everything else. So I have big concerns about how this is going to change the neighborhood. You're not going to be able to ride a bike through the neighborhood like you can now. You're not going to be able to play in the street like you can now when you have all these fishermen, boat people, and everybody coming in. Certainly the loud music and stuff at night. I agree with what Jen's saying because I've been in these meetings, and just so you guys know, and
You've had everyone.
Specifically you, Mayor Frommer, when I asked this, what are the next steps? What does happen? Your response is always the same as it is tonight. It's, well, this is just this. It's not going to do anything. Later on sometime we'll be able to do anything.
Well, the planning board is where the plan gets.
I've been to the planning board
But they
meetings.
haven't had.
I've been to the planning board meetings, and I agree with Jen. I do not get any respect there. Okay, they're looking to jam something through. Okay, that's how we feel. So we're not getting a feeling of you're working with us by any stretch of the imagination. You've taken 3 issues from what you've heard us say in these meetings, but nobody's actually sat down with us and talked to us, not the developer, not you guys. Nobody has to really understand what the neighborhood is and what our concerns are. Like I said, it's a quiet neighborhood, which is what drew me to the neighborhood. We fish, we crab, we do all the wonderful things that you come to the Jersey Shore to do. All right, and if you're going to put a marina in that lagoon, those things become a lot harder. Sure, we can drive down to another area and do it, but it's very nice being able to just do these things right out in front of your house. One question I have is with the extension of the bulkhead, and certainly with the not plans we've seen, there is a bulkhead there. There has never been a marina in this lagoon. We can go back to the pictures, everything else. So a lot of the verbiage in these documents and stuff saying that it's replacing what was already there. There was never a marina.
The bulkhead comes not even down to my property currently. So if you're going to extend that bulkhead, you're going to go down. And based on the plans that we've seen, the docks to the marina go down past where the existing bulkhead is. So, I mean, we'd like to have a discussion and find out what is really going on and what is going to happen here. And certainly the people that do have the riparian leases and have docks there, this bulkhead's going to go in front of them. They need to understand what's going to happen to them as well. So there's a lot of questions here. I'd love to understand the process because it's kicking the ball down to the next step is the way I feel, because we ask questions as next time.
Well, then maybe we can do this. Maybe we can have a few of you come in and you can understand what the thought process is and what's been presented so far to us. Like I said, and I've said this over and over again, you've all heard it, you don't want to hear it. But until a plan is laid out in front of us, I can't go by, oh yeah, I saw that on the DEP website. I can't go by that.
I hear you, but then now...
So that's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, but now put yourself in our shoes, and we're reading these things, we're seeing these emails, we're seeing these things going back and forth. From our perspective, it's like something's going on here that's trying to...
It's a lot of mixture of things that aren't in straight line, and I think that's part of the problem. I think I have no problem having some of you guys come on in and have things explained to you. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
I mean,
I know Paul's been wanting to come in and talk about this, so I think this is a great way to do it.
I think so.
We're not going to take anybody's property we don't own. Do you want a new bulkhead or not? It's very simple. I mean, we got to fix the road.
We got to fix the road.
Okay, and
an
if you
investment
live there, you see the water come across, right?
I get that, but here's the thing: is we've been, and this is just my observation that I've had. Again, it's all coming up on a year. I've been coming to the planning board meetings and stuff since this stuff has all come up. I think it was 3 months ago in a meeting, and I don't know whether it was this or a planning meeting or whatever it was, but it was mentioned about the bulkhead. All right, there's a simple thing. That's the first time I realized that from your perspective, what's driving this is we got to get a bulkhead in here because we got service lines, we got roads, we got all this stuff that's got to be protected, let alone the residents. Like, that's the first time it clicked in my mind that, at least there is a reason for the township to be going this approach. I'd love to at least take it the next step forward and find out what's going to happen and how we can balance some of these needs.
Tom, Mark,
I prefer to leave my comments after the public session is open.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a
Not
problem.
personal comments against me, are they?
No, you're a grandfather of wonderful children, so come on.
I know that.
No, I don't have a problem if you have questions, because sometimes in this kind of setting, it gets heated. When you're sitting at a conference table looking at each other across, it's easier to have a conversation. But you got to remember, this is a business that is applied to do something, and they have the right to do that.
And
they don't have, we're not guaranteeing them an approval.
Right. Right. Yes.
So it's if somebody wants to build a house or they want to build a business. So there's a process, and we are in the midst of a process, and this type of process takes a long time because, as you're all saying, there's issues in the neighborhood that you just don't want to see, God bless you, see changed. But I think the conversation can be had so you can have an idea from what our perspective is.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with that.
And just to remember, one of the red flags for us that sent us up was when he moved the barges into the lagoon, and we're doing this, it's like, oh my gosh, he's getting ready to dredge already. Like, again, we don't know.
Because you're learning the wheels of government move very slow. And but there is a reason that we move this slow.
I understand.
They removed it, right?
They're not there
there's
now.
no water.
They're not
there's
there
no
now.
water.
I'm just saying they're the kind of things when we don't know the process here, right? I get the government. I think we all know government moves slow. There's a good reason for that.
There is a good reason for it.
So,
because if it would move fast, this could have been done in a month and over and done, but it's not. It's public. Everything we do, as you guys know, everything is operable, and you can take a look at everything that is done. So,
all right. So I would love to have that meeting and try to at least get our heads around, at least my head around, of what are these next steps so that I understand where key decisions are being made. So that
I think we can do that. And I'm going to make a suggestion, which you're probably not happy with me, Tom. But let's just pull this one from tonight. Can we pull this and put it up at the next meeting?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. And here's the thing. We're here to help you. I know you're giving that look. That ain't the case. You don't know Paul Hudson, okay? I'm just telling you.
I
But
agree.
we're here to help you, but we, like she said, when you buy a piece of property, it's sometimes people want to make improvements. Now, I can tell you about the improvements in Anchorage Point over my life. I grew up in Anchorage Point. There's a ton of improvements on the properties. Why? The road's been fixed. You got sewer and water, which you never had. And you got a road there that if the storm comes through, it may be gone.
I understood.
And that's somebody's problem
I get, and I
with the
understand that.
infrastructure.
And I understand that. It's just, and let's figure out where both sides are coming from and minimize the gap, or if we can.
That's what we need to do, and I think that as the property owner, Mr. Scarborough has rights to. So everybody can be at this conference. Actually, maybe it's good we have him there. I don't know if he'll come, but we'll have, we have your contact information, your phone number.
You should, I'm sure I've given it plenty of time, but happy to give it again.
Can you give it down to our clerk?
Yep. All right.
So, Mayor, real quick, I'm glad to hear that you're going to bring them in with a group to discuss this. I thought that was in the plans a while ago. So that's a start. All right.
Agree. Thank you.
Okay. We want to keep talking about Anchorage Point, or should we? Come on now. It's public comment. You can all come down. So.
Nick Giannis, resident of Anchorage Point. First, real quick, sorry, John, I got to correct you on one thing. A few of the people sitting up here have taken the time and come out, and we've given them tours, and they know what our concerns are firsthand. Yeah, so I just wanted to clarify
One
that.
thing I learned as a police officer, I go out in the field. So I've been at Anchorage Point probably more than you know, looking around at what's going on.
Yeah, we all have.
So the biggest concerns that we had when we saw what was coming up tonight, it discussed reestablishing parking on O'Byrne and the bulkhead and access and all that. There was never parking on the east side of O'Byrne, like they're saying. And this, what we read was it was giving the developer the right to reestablish parking in there. There was never parking there.
Well, that actually, right now, I'll be honest with you. If we're going to meet, I think we discussed this then, because that was in the memorandum of understanding. So I think we just work on it. We talk about it then, and we see what we're looking at.
Okay.
And we'll see what a few of you guys are looking
All right, so
at.
no decisions being made tonight on anything. You're
No,
still
we're going to
tabling
table
it?
this till the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for having our backs, on this, please.
Listen, I don't want to go into the personal problem I'm having on developing a piece of property, but this happens all the time. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. Over-regulated New Jersey.
We're fighting, and we're going to keep fighting because this is our neighborhood that we love. And, we don't want a marina with all it entails, and we definitely don't want access to our neighborhood from that marina and parking there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Jennifer Kerwin from O'Byrne Drive. So thank you. Missed you guys. It's been a while. Hope you had a nice holiday. So thank you. I appreciate the time for public comment. So I just have a few concerns to raise. As you said, and I do appreciate the additional consideration, this means a lot to us. As we have shown our continued support, and we appreciate your time. This neighborhood is what is being proposed with, and what is being mentioned in the MOU, is that with the additional, as our team has said, that our group has said, there has been no parking, and that the restoration changes the terminology of what the lift will be when it's considered. There is not. This is a new lift, and if you look at the roads and you see there is no room for parking. Also, when we're taking into consideration the bulkhead and the public access, and I know while plans have not been approved, we see like this bulkhead and then the potential, it's removing public access to what our neighbors have mentioned. Our kids play in this water. We go swimming, we go fishing. And like to be able to completely eliminate any access to the water and security of the water, we're not addressing the public access. Then we're putting parking. Our neighborhood is quiet and safe. Our kids play. I have a 6 and 8-year-old. They play and they have friends down all the time, and we play with our neighbor. The street is their main playground. And like this plan that is being proposed will drastically change the neighborhood. The increased parking, the traffic, the noise, the safety. We're introducing boats, pollution, and the wetlands. The wetlands, like with all that pollution and those beautiful species of birds, like we're not considering the impact of something of this size and this velocity, what will do to the nature of our neighborhood. If you drive through a neighborhood, which I know many of you have, and we appreciate you taking your time, but there is great opposition in this neighborhood, and we appreciate the consideration to have the opportunity to meet with you and share our concerns. But this will definitely change the sanctity and the quiet and the safety of our neighborhood. And it's something that we want to be heard. And as we've shared, I've mentioned, we're not there yet, but we feel that we're not always being heard. And so we want that opportunity. And, we appreciate that meeting. I look forward to it because maybe we will have the opportunity to come to a compromise. Right now, I don't see any community benefit of this redevelopment plan. Like, we are destroying a community. We're removing public access, we're increasing traffic, we're destroying the environment. So I want that to be considered and taken into consideration when we're moving forward with this development and the developer. And I understand he has a right. His plans for the restaurant are beautiful, but we need it to be concerned where the location is in next to a private neighborhood, like a very quiet neighborhood. And so there is a balance that is required and should be considered. And not once, and our concern too is, like, as I mentioned, I missed you guys, but I only had 2 days notice to get here. And then potentially on Monday, it's really short notice to get all of our ducks in a line and our questions ready for you. So we just would appreciate.
Here's what I'm going to say. If we have to talk, some of us are not going to be here for a week or so.
Okay.
So check with the office to see when we put this on the agenda. But in the meantime, we'll call and just set something up so we can all have a discussion. There's no promises one way or the other.
I mean, I understand.
It's just an information, and we can calmly have a conversation.
Yes.
Not a lot of accusations back and forth. They don't work well.
No, agreed. It's based on facts, and we just want facts.
It's facts.
Yeah.
We want it. Yeah, it's fact finding from our perspective and your perspective.
Facts is mine.
Yes. March 15th or April 15th for you too.
Yes. It's been very busy today. But yes. So no, I thank you. That's all I have today, but I appreciate your time and I look forward to that conversation. Thank you.
Hi. Excuse me, no disrespect. I'm your biggest fan. I have to get to this.
All right. My name is Michelle McLaughlin, and I've lived in Anchorage Point for 30 years. And Mr. Hodgson, I know all the improvements that the township has made to Anchorage Point.
The state did. The state handled that road that they claimed was from nowhere to nowhere. If you read the papers and go back in time. Yeah, the state did that. Fine.
Well, I'm kind of talking about the sewer. When I moved in, we just got the sewer, we got the water. But I guess where I'm disputing is the bulkhead. The bulkhead will never stop the flooding. The water will come over. I've seen the water for 30 years just lap over the road. It will never hold back the water. And I was in the first lawsuit with 17 years ago. And they all said the bulkhead would keep us from Katrina. We all know that's not true. It's never going to hold back the water. And when you put a bulkhead in, too, you have to really think about the environmental aspect of that, because we now have terrapins come up. We have geese. Geese are also pollinators. When you put a bulkhead, they're not coming over the bulkhead anymore. I don't know where they're going to lay their eggs. But from what I understand, turtles lay their eggs in the same spot for many years, same as the geese. 10, 20 years they come and lay their eggs. So we're going to stop all that, and our wetlands, it's just not going to flourish like it is. I'm 60, almost 67. The next generation will not see what I've seen if we destroy this wetlands and put a bulkhead in. And I've already been threatened that my dock, because I'm on the edge, is already going to be torn down by the developer. And he's laughing about it, telling everybody, that's okay. With Judge Nelson, he put it into place for our protection. So I think when this kind of goes up to even the planning board and the township, you got to kind of see what Judge Nelson put out there for our protection as well. And also with I just want to talk about the parking. And I think I heard Mr. Hudson say, well, you can put gravel there. Again, if you put gravel in that strip of land, which right now holds our spartina, which is seagrass, which helps, again, the wetlands survive. It's like pollen to a bee. If you put gravel there, how's that going to look? That's going to look not very nice and not very appealing for our homes. And again, if you look at Seaview Harbor and their marine and their community are two different aspects. So we kind of want you to think about that. Again, if any of you who are living there, you wouldn't want that in your neighborhood. We want, again, 30 years I've been there. I plan to retire there, but I don't want a big marine in front of my house where I can't sleep, and I have to see the wetlands being destroyed in front of my eyes. So that's just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Anybody else want to address the governing body on any issues whatsoever?
Yeah.
Sir, come on up.
How are you? I'm Paul Weichel from 6157 Mill Road, Egg Harbor Township, block 5202, lot 20. How's everybody doing after this hot day today? Hot one, isn't it? So I hope I'm in the right place for what I'm trying to do. I spoke with Ms. Kelly in reference to putting some formal objections on the record, and she instructed me to, in order to enter them into the record. I couldn't do that through email. I had to come to a public meeting and enter them that way. Is that correct?
Mark, is that the normal process? I'm not sure. What is it you want to talk about?
Well, formal objection for incomplete application and ownership in reference to block 5202, lots 21 and 22. It's involving a company that claims to be Township Modern Incorporated, but it's all fake. It's all fake. I have copies. What's that?
Chelsea Avenue.
Chelsea Avenue. Exactly.
Land
And-
development application.
This is for the Township Modern application?
Oh, yeah. The same ones that did those homes
Where is
Well,
this?
if the pending land use applications, then there should be at some point a public hearing on it, and that's the time to address them.
That's probably what she was telling you, to go to the planning board. This is the planning board.
I understand. I understood that part of it. But when I tried to put these formal objections into the record, she said I had to do it through a public meeting, not the planning board meeting.
No, they have a public comment session at the planning board.
No, I know they do. I've been there. So, but I mean, what I'm trying to do is just get these entered into the record prior to the 29th of April planning board meeting. It's a pretty simple request.
How is that? I'll be honest, I'm not sure how that's handled.
He was here.
John?
Saying what it was.
I would say that
Continue.
as far as planning board applications are concerned,
So did she mean for him to come
where you win at that board,
there?
Absolutely.
in order for you to say the things that you want to say. So I don't know if Ms. Kelly misspoke
No,
to this board, but this is not a
Let me do this board specifically. I don't want to get anybody in trouble here.
It would be the
My-
planning board where you would want to get sworn in.
And your name is?
John Hitchman.
Okay. And you're the solicitor? Okay. So,
Here for the hearing.
I have the legal documentation to back. This isn't hearsay. I've done a lot of research to get this. And I'm just trying to get it into the record to let them prepare, because I think what's going to happen, one of the objections I have is for them to just forget about that meeting. Let's look at Touch of Modern and find out that they're fake. And it's the same.
Sir, I think I think this truly, unfortunately, this is not the body to hear that. There is an attorney That is a record of the planning board. And once you're sworn in, you're giving sworn testimony on the record.
Okay.
And it would be at the planning board.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So,
Thank you for your time.
and our, let's see, April's planning board is
29.
29.
Yeah.
So on public comments, that when that application comes up, there is a section for the public. Make sure you come up for that.
They're opening the meeting with the public because they closed the meeting with the public comments open. So that'll be the first thing. May I ask Mr. Hudson a question, please? Did you have the opportunity to come out and walk the property?
I was in your neighborhood. I didn't walk any property.
Oh, okay.
Because I looked at the cut through where they think Chelsea can come through to Churchill. I see the drain is there, so a lot of that water that they're talking about isn't making it to the drain. It's too high. Yeah, I was there. I did not walk anybody's property.
Were you aware that this is a 2008 application recycled under a new name? Touch a mom?
No, I have no idea about that.
Okay. I have legal evidence to prove that. That's all I was trying to do is get this in the record.
So that's where you need to do it
I
because,
understand. You were clear, and I thank you for your time.
and it's Monday. It's
Wednesday.
The 29th. I'm sorry, this one's on a Wednesday. This one's on a Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, they're trying to catch up.
Oh, they're catching. We lost 2 meetings, yeah. So this will be, and make sure it's not.
There's a smell.
Oh, yeah.
That's why that night we had to cut it off because they were standing out the door.
I think it was, 20 after 9 when we walked out.
That's right.
Okay, so that's why.
Cut it off.
Yeah.
But make sure you're at that meeting and you'll be a public comment. Get right in the line.
Yeah. All right. Very well. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Anybody else?
I'm going on the record for Stephen and Susan McMahon from 25 Point Drive in Egg Harbor
The only
Township.
thing I know from sitting here for years, that's your say, because they're not here to say it. You can read it on the record, so we have it on the record.
I had it printed and signed, so should I have printed it? And
No.
Okay.
Public comment is not done under oath.
No, go for it.
It says we're unable to attend the township committee meeting this evening and would like to go on record as opposing resolution 178 and the memorandum of understanding with Jetty Bar LLC. We also would like to go on record of agreeing with all the testimony of the neighbors of Anchorage Point as well as any legal counsel and professionals speaking on our behalf. Thank you.
What were their names again?
Sorry. Stephen and Susan McMahon from
McMahon.
25. Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, thank you. Is anyone else? Anything? This is public comment.
Bill Royal, Egg Harbor Township, good evening, Mayor and Committee. So, I'm actually here to speak tonight about comments that were made at the last meeting 2 weeks ago. I wasn't able to make that meeting, so unfortunately I was getting a few phone calls from some people explaining what some folks had said about certain things, so I openly requested to make sure I heard it with my own ears. What I have a problem with is I feel that there's some candidates that are politicizing and using the fire company, the fire department, I should say, for their own political gain. Now, I'm speaking on my own behalf. I am not speaking for the fire department itself. I am not speaking for any particular fire company. So this is my own opinion, and quite a few, the large majority of people I serve with. Speaking of the constant pressure that's being pushed by certain people about paid fire departments. First of all, people don't realize what we do. You had mentioned, Mayor, that a paid fire department would be about $20 million. Some people don't think that's a lot of money. Well, that probably hit every taxpayer, every homeowner for about $800 to $1,200 a year per home. So people can easily say, oh, let's have a paid fire department, but are you going to be willing to spend the extra $100 a month in your mortgage? So a lot of that, I think, is going on with some political candidates. Some are also using like Facebook posts, taking emblems from certain fire departments and posting those things. I think it's inappropriate, to say the least. We also have some candidates that like to show up at youth organizations and get petitions signed. Don't think that's appropriate at all. Maybe not against the law, but inappropriate. What I want to speak about the paid fire department push from a few people, from a handful of people is, and one spokesperson last meeting had said that we need more help from the township. The township should fund us more. What people don't realize, and you all certainly realize, is that you can only give us a certain amount of money by state regulation and state law. So it's not like the committee can say, here, there's $1 million for every fire department. That's just not going to happen. So what needs to change is the state. That needs to be worked on how much the state regulates how much we can get. Mr. Castellano, as you as an attorney would probably do well on that. Mr. Freeman, maybe we can start pressuring the state to up that number so the township, not just our township, but the other municipalities in the state, can fund their fire departments a little bit better. That being said, you want to know the best way to fund your fire department is for the residents to help us. Send your donations in. You send, an example, you'll send out 6,000, 7,000 mailers asking, your local residents for donations, and we're lucky to get 10 to 11% back participation. I don't speak, again, for the whole fire department as a whole, but I can tell you right now, if every household in this township were to donate, were to send their local fire department $50 to $100, we wouldn't have to get out on the corners fundraising. We wouldn't have to do, coin drops and all that other stuff. That's really about all you need. So it's cheaper to throw a nice donation once a year to your local fire department than it is to be strapped with a $1,200 extra tax per year. I take offense when people come up here and start pushing paid fire department agendas when they have no clue what the fire department is. Some not even knowing that we were volunteer. I take that as a slap in the face. To me, and I'm going to say it, I know it'll agitate some people, but maybe some people should worry about an overbloated $240 million school budget and stop pushing the paid fire department. So, again, I'm speaking for myself, not for any company, not for the fire department in general. So I'll end with that as far as fire department is concerned. Tonight, it just brought up something, Ordinance 10 for the state to do the work on Route 40. When you're in negotiations with them or talking to them about them, could you maybe get them to clean up their little mess there on the Carter Circle that looks like a big
It's been brought up
storage
to
unit?
them. For the record, it's been brought up.
They shouldn't just be able to come in our city and make it look like trash. That's the main corridor coming in. It looks like garbage. If somebody comes down to Black Horse Pike from another town, they drive through that area, they probably like, I wouldn't move to this crap hole the way it looks. I'm just saying it straight. So somehow we need to pressure them to push back on that or make them clean it up because, that should not be a storage lot. None of us would be able to do that to our properties.
Yeah.
None of us would be able to do that to our
We already had a
properties.
meeting with the state.
And?
I told them as soon as
the
they're done.
business has asked to, the business owner that designer has asked many times. Seems like they don't want to move their stuff. They stop work, stuff's still there. Starting working, they're working now, right out of there, right, Bobby?
Yeah, as
They're
soon as
working
they're
on it
done
now.
with this project, which is hopefully by the end of the year.
Route 40 project.
Correct. They're going to clear it out, re-beautify it, and get the fencing out of it.
That's what I want to hear. Let's keep our city great. Thank you.
And I can tell you this, every one of us up here are incredibly proud of our volunteer fire companies.
I am too. We work hard.
The skill level that you all have is equal to any paid department anywhere. And what you do for this township, we all say thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, have a motion to close the public portion? Oh, we have another speaker?
Cindy?
Oh, Mr. Risley's here. Want to speak?
I will be brief. Good.
Getting the arms back.
Arms getting better, but very, very slowly. Good evening, Mayor and Township Committee. It's good to see you all. I just wanted to commend you on your recent budget. You're going up 1.8 cents, as I understand. The county's going down by the same amount, so it's a wash. So that's a good thing. Many of us on the Board of Commissioners have been local officials before. And we know how tough it is for you guys to hold the line and try to hold expenses down. And yes, you were fortunate to get out of the state health plan. We were not so fortunate. The county's got a bad experience rate. So we have a hard time finding appropriate insurance. So we had to take it on the chin on the insurance until we can find another methodology here. But I just want to commend you all for the budget going up 1.8. That's we never want to see it go up, of course, but it's reasonable in these times. So I'll end with that, and I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sir, you're right there.
Hey, my name is Lucas Hyman. I also live on Churchill Drive. I guess Paul was talking before about that's the same property that I'm affected by. I just want to say thank you for listening to me last time I was here. I didn't prepare really anything to say for this meeting, but I just want to say thanks for coming out and walking the Churchill side. But since being here, I went over to the Chelsea Avenue and looked at that, and I'm understanding they're going to put a new road in on Chelsea Avenue there, and they're going to expand that. And I had questions on how do I find out like how that is being paid for, and like do those I guess residents there that are being affected by the road opening up, do they get compensated for I guess the stuff that has to happen to their yard in order to make way for the new road coming through, and just how that process is?
If I'm not mistaken, is this
It's supposed to be a 50-foot right away.
there's a right, but I think the answers to that would be the professionals at the planning board have the answers to that.
Okay, I was just trying to get up to knowledge before the planning board meeting. Just
Call
try to
Danielle
understand.
Kelly upstairs and see if she can give you answers. I'm not sure if she can, but that's what I would do. So this way you'll have some information on it.
And just for the record, I'm also really against this project as well. Just reiterating that since talking to everyone on Chelsea Avenue, I just feel bad for everyone there, and plus it negatively affects my property as well. So thank you guys for your time.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
Greetings, everybody. I'm Cindy Justice from Ivans Avenue, vertically challenged. I just want to, I don't want to talk long because I know it's very late. I want to acknowledge you, sir. You are a bright light to me. I've had an offer extended to send questions his way, and I hope to do that sometime soon because I'm digging and digging and digging for some of the stuff that Lucas just mentioned, like to figure out, to understand our township. I admittedly haven't been a regular participant like you all. Again, I'll tell you, I couldn't do what you do. I couldn't come here this often, but I'm learning to somewhat at least have your schedule in my brain. But some of my digging efforts have revealed things. Well, let me stay with Oprah requests. I heard that mentioned a couple times that we can make Oprah requests. I've done that a number of times, dating back into March 16th is when the project that I oppose, strongly oppose, is PB 2025-016. That was heard for the first time on March 16th. And by the grace of God, there was no ruling at that point in time. And I like the idea of having across the table kind of interactions that were proposed with the MOU. I mean, I may even want to say, hey, maybe sign us up at some point, but I am so hopeful that we don't even get to that place, that this just gets dead on arrival, because I'll stay with my research, what is true about Ivans Avenue. And I know this has been stated at a number of meetings long before this year of 2026. This was way back into the teen numbers. But I found my deed from 1910. It's not directly only mine because apparently Daniel Baker owned 9 acres and I don't own 9 acres. But there were things cited in here that, to define the meets and bounds, it was, you got to begin at a post standing by the side of the main run, which is really the mill branch today. That's what the main run is. I'm pretty darn sure about that. It being the northwest corner of Alexander Fish's Cedar Swamp. Now, the word swamp, and I know it's been noted before, I'm 100% wet. I mean, I'm not terribly, terribly wet at this moment. We're in a drought.
Mr. Justice, let me ask you, because your application is currently being heard.
Yes.
From what I understand. So we can't really comment on anything on that application because it's being heard. You can say whatever you want. This is public comment. But we can't tell you really anything about your application because it's in the process of being heard.
Well, what I'd like to know, somebody help me understand about this application process, is that as I think, I don't know what his name was, Paul, maybe somebody spoke earlier than me, talked about being given different ideas about how to interject what we're trying to convey that are important to us and should be taken into consideration. That ain't going to happen at a planning board meeting. It is very, very structured, and rightly so. I mean, with the number of developers that are coming here and saying, I want to make some money here, I want to make some money here, let's consider what you got.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, you've had conversations with Mr. Hitchner?
I have not.
I think that's what you should do.
Extended.
And he is very good with this information. This is what he's very good at, the planning and the zoning and things like that. I would think he would be your best bet to get some of the answers that you're looking for. Because he can't, like anybody up here, we can't promise you anything. He can't promise you anything. But he can give you clarity as to what you're thinking about and process information. I would highly suggest that you call him because it's a lot easier to do it that way because it's a one-on-one conversation and we don't have the information up here with us or the people to ask. He does.
Nobody's going to have this information because it was communicated to me from the land use administrator that the chairman of the planning board decided we're just going to hold off on making any minutes till everything that was on that March 16th agenda has been finalized. So I could be waiting 2, 3, 4, 5 more months. And I don't think it's fair as a resident. I don't think it's fair that I can't go find that someplace. I can't find our EHT, watch our latest committee meeting. That ain't been updated in a month.
Well, they weren't here at the last meeting.
But still, there was a meeting, I think 2 weeks in between there. Potentially not. Maybe I'm miscalculating.
Just one was missing.
Okay. Well,
and I think, Tom, is there a way that if she wants information that was held at the planning board, that she... So once it's complete, then it's all released.
Well, I think they...
on the record. That's just kind of like...
They're redoing their requests.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They
One
are.
of the main reasons is they don't need 4 driveways coming out of West Jersey.
I agree 100% with that.
West Jersey's bad as it is.
Agreed.
If we can consolidate on one intersection, two lanes each way to try to get people out of their development. But here's the thing, and I'll just say it real quick. I probably shouldn't say much. You're doing your research by that old deed you got.
You betcha.
Because let me tell you, there was plenty of water out there.
Yes.
Okay, that's a fact.
I know it. And it's been utilized by the township over and over as the drain. And as far as I'm concerned, this is overutilization to box me in on all 4 sides. Because all that stuff comes from the north and the west and hooks around to the south. And this development is on my east. And I am downhill from that. It even says, I've looked at his documents, the stormwater management document, first sentence, and the only time it's even said there is that we're shooting it its natural way. I'm not quoting it right because I don't have the paper in front of me, but it drains. He says it drains from the east to the west. He's shooting it my direction is where it's going to come because it's the lowest spot. But I've been here since at least 1910. This stuff, if I ever find the 1810 deed, I'll know I was here first. And I don't think it's fair that all these people that have deeds that are in the 1999, 2000s, 2010s, how come they get precedence over me for quality of life? Because I ain't having no quality of life with all this water coming my way.
I just don't. Make sure when the planning board comes back in session for your project, for that project, it's not your project. Yes, it's that project. That you bring these up and you ask the pointed questions there, and you can call our office. If you want clarity on some of these things, you can call our office. Okay?
I will be in touch. I just want to say this is one of the documents that they have now submitted. It's the environmental impact study, which I think they kind of walked away from that 4-hour meeting or whatever it was we were here for the evening, that they figured, oh, we're going to have to produce one of these. It's not speaking truth. It doesn't cite a frog. There's frogs there. It does cite barred owls. You can hear them occasionally. Doesn't touch any of the native vegetation. And we will strongly oppose that with an expert when we're given a chance at the next planning board. But like I said, my biggest goal is to just crouch it right there, because I still have yet to understand. I'm going to ask you about this, Mr. Hitchner. It's going to be, what is the flow? Who sees it first? Who gets the up and the down? I think you guys make, as far as what little bit I think I understand, you make the final call. Is that right? The committee has to.
Planning board. That's not true.
Okay. Then help me find out.
The planning board. You need to, this is, your issue really at this point is there.
I understand with the planning board, but it sounded to me just mostly by hearsay, because I can't find this, the flow. You're welcome to school me.
It's not on for the 20th.
You know,
Direct.
Are you done with your comments?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
You can call Mr. Hitch. I will.
Okay.
I will.
Thank you, Mrs. Justice.
Thank you, as always. I mean it sincerely. I know it doesn't feel that way. But this is how things get worked out, I think. To the betterment of the community. That's what it's all about. Thank you.
You have a good night.
You too.
You have a good night. Anybody else? Hearing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Make a motion.
All in favor, roll call, please.
Castellano?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes. Okay. Let's go.
Fill the list.
You want to hear from me?
Yes, Mr. Friedman, I would like to hear from you.
A solicitor from the township, I've said it in the past, I'm going to remind the governing body again, and anybody who in the audience who cares to listen. You have jurisdiction over certain matters, and you have assigned other matters and other boards have jurisdiction. You have a rec board. You don't want to be deciding which teams should be using the basketball courts. You have a planning board. They handle planning board applications. When people come before you and want to discuss items that are not appropriately to be decided by you, they may have very good points, and they do have their day before a public body, but they're in the wrong church. You can't make the decision of what the planning board ultimately decides. You don't have the expertise. They're not subject to cross-examination by the applicant or by the professionals for the board. So they're conveying information to you, but I would caution you to basically be good listeners, but remind them they're speaking to the wrong people. As far as Anchorage Point is concerned, and this particular resolution that's before you on the MO review, recognize that a person who owns property can use the property how they wish to use it. This property that is being proposed for a marina has been zoned to be a marina for decades. And just because somebody hasn't come forward with a formal application, I guess Mr. Daggett did, and then others, and that this is after him, the governing body could basically say, we're not interested in getting into a developer's agreement with you. Go before a board and do that. They might have a product that emerges from the board that is not what you want and is not what the residents want. So by the governing body taking this project and dealing with it as a redevelopment project as opposed to a application before one of the boards is really in the best interest of the township. And the township governing body has to consider what's best for the community. It might not be the best thing that the people on Auburn Drive or in other parts of Anchorage Point may not agree with you philosophically, and I get it. They have a right to object to it, but ultimately the decision lies with you as the governing body as to what is the best for the full community. This governing body has already decided to take this on as a redevelopment project, or to deal with it as a redevelopment project, has already approved the redevelopment plan. It knows from past expenditures and problems that have been on that island that Auburn Drive is in need of repair, in need of maintenance, in need of protection. So, as a kid, I grew up, there was woods behind my house. I loved playing in the woods. I loved riding my bicycle and digging holes and chopping trees. But someday a developer wants to come and build a house there, a whole development, and I lose all of that privacy and all the fun that I had. And I get it. If I lived on Auburn Drive, I'd probably be taking some of the positions that these people take. But ultimately, you are the decider of this. And by bringing forth this resolution before you on the MOD, it's not only retaining your control, but at least the viewpoint of the people who are negotiating this, they think that they're doing a benefit to the owners by having their voice stand out even more rather than just putting before the planning. I just want to read the comments, the portions of the MOD that have come up repeatedly. Furthermore, the redevelopment agreement will address certain project improvements that will be negotiated by the Township Committee and its authorized representatives, including but not necessarily limited to the bulkhead, public parking along Auburn Drive, and the potential traffic light on the Route 152 causeway, and or other areas of concern, while the planning board will address the balance of the site plan issues. It's not making a decision as to what there's going to be parking, if there's going to be parking, what it's going to look like. Those issues still need to be negotiated and discussed. So there's nothing nefarious that goes on in communications between government officials and the developer to learn about what the parameters of what their project and what they're proposing, to know that, to convey that to the governing body before you vote. How are you supposed to vote on something if you don't know what the substance is that you're voting? So there is a lot of planning that goes into these. There's a lot of discussions. It's not nefarious. It's good government work at action. And I'm fully in favor of sitting down with the objectors to see, or the people who live there, maybe you're not an objector, but you want to learn more about it. I'm all in favor of that, to sit down and see what their concerns are. We've certainly heard them. We've certainly heard allegations from people that, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that because it's illegal. I could assure you.
Excuse me, real quick. Didn't we say that we're going to get a group together and discuss that?
We are, but I think he needs to put this on the record.
Okay.
We're going to, I'll sit down with them. I'll sit down with them. I want to hear what they want. I encourage them to come down and see it. That doesn't mean we're going to merge that discussion all in favor of everything that they say. The governing body will ultimately make that decision. So when you have a developer who wants to come and improve of the bulkhead that has since, for the most part, become deteriorated and falling into the water, and they're going to pick up the bill for it and save the township millions of dollars in fees and application costs and construction costs to do that on your behalf, I think the governing body has made a wise decision in saying, yes, we're in favor of you spending your money, your private money, to put it on your land and complete the bulkhead. And the developer's redevelopment plan that's been approved so far extends the bulkhead up to a certain point, but it continues, their property line continues past where their bulkhead is. And one of the things that the township is looking to do is, hey, developer, are you also willing to pick up the tab to go through the approval process with the DEP, that in the future, if we want to extend the bulkhead at our cost, Will you pay for the development plans to do that and the application fees to do that? Again, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So when the bulkhead, if the bulkhead, the extended bulkhead ever gets built, that's a matter of conjecture. What's going to happen to the people that have put docks that are out there in there, if they can establish that they have proper permits to build, and they built it in the correct space? All right. I assure the governing body that within the best of my power, we will follow the letter of the law of what we're allowed to do. They might not like the decision, but at least you'll have the option to either approve it or not approve it. And if the situation is that the objectors are throwing all these things about, the illegality and what the township's doing, they have their rights secured as well. They could go and file an appeal. They could challenge the decision you make, and that's how it works. That's how the process is set up in the court of law. But to just make bold-faced allegations and expect that we're going to all of a sudden just accept what you say on face value is ludicrous. So I will work with the residents, I will work with the governing body, as well as the engineer and the administrator to come to some sort of reasonable compromise, because this arena is coming. Now it's a matter of trying to make it as comfortable as we can for all concerned. If you don't improve that bulkhead, if you somehow put up roadblocks and prevent this from happening, no predictor of future weather, but you're going to potentially lose that roadway and all the infrastructure and all the lines that are in there, all the utility lines. So I just asked the governing body, focus in on the big picture as we move forward with this process. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address this, Mayor.
Thank you. All right. We're going to move forward with Resolution 181, authorizing payment of all bills. Can I have a motion to pay our bills?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Approvals. Can I have a motion to approve the Township Committee meeting minutes of April 1st, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Can I have a motion to approve the departmental reports for the month of March, 2026?
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. We moved up public comment. We're going to do Township Committee reports. Mr. Castellano, we're going to start with you.
Thank you, Mayor. So firstly, I want to thank you for appointing me to the Economic Development Commission. There's a lot of work to be done there, and I look forward to diving right in and getting to work and being helpful. That's why I'm here. I'm here to work. The mayor and I met last week with Assemblywoman Maureen Rowan and her chief of staff to talk about possible relief from Pineland's laws and or regulations. And we made quite a good, I think, presentation and got things started. And we are planning an upcoming meeting with our other Assemblyman Don Guardian, as well as Senator Palestina, to discuss the same issue. The Municipal Council has not scheduled a meeting as of yet, but I am ready and willing and able to serve at such time as they do. So with that, again, thank you, and we will keep working.
Thank you. Mr. Hans.
I got two things. One, we're preparing for our Memorial Day parade. There's posters about in the community. If anybody wants to participate, hopefully the weather participates with us and it's not 90 degrees. And we have a flyer of a schedule of the F-16s from the Air Guard as we got in line, and they're going to fly over 3 of them down Ocean Heights Avenue.
Is it 3 of them?
Yeah, I think it's 3 of them. Also, just on the budget, you look at other communities, and our budget is less of other communities. I'm glad to hear Mr. Risley, not Freehold, I was going to say Frizzly. Commissioner Risley talk about the county, so we break even here at Egg Harbor Township, but other communities smaller than us are increasing pretty heavy, and a lot of it has to do with the same bills we pay, be it health care, equipment, salaries, whatever it is in the township. So, good job on the budget. I like the fact that we have surplus. And, hope for cooler weather.
It's too soon. Mr. Ellis.
I can say good job on the budget, but I'm just shocked. I don't know how it goes from 30 degrees to 80, 90 degrees. And mosquitoes out already. so outside and mosquitoes tore me up. But I just want to say we're going to continue to work hard for the residents of Atlantic, Egg Harbor Township. And they did a good job on their budget. Mr. Hisper and Mr. T. I call him Mr. T.
I've got a couple things. One is last Saturday we had our Clean Communities Day, and we had hundreds of township residents out cleaning up the streets, and most of us made it to the event afterwards where they basically fed everybody lunch and thanked them for what they did. We have great people in this town. I have to say it over and over again. There were so many people that come out for every cleanup we have. So I just want to say thank you to all of them and also to our Public Works who did a good job following up. If anybody sees an orange trash bag anywhere, please call Public Works. They missed one. But they're out there. And also the Historical Society, if those of you that don't know about them, do incredible things here in the township. This past Monday, they did an EHT trivia night. And, we are the oldest municipality in Atlantic County, as attested right behind us. But they did that, but they do different programs throughout the year. So check their website. They have some really interesting things. And I would highly recommend attending one of them. If you like history in particular, they're fabulous. So
most of Atlantic County started right here in Egg Harbor Township.
It did.
That's the history books have it, by the way.
It did. Tom, is anything?
Just like to thank the CFO, Sharon Riley, Deputy Hitchner, Harvey, all with their help in the budget. There was a lot of hours spent, as you know, working on it over the last bunch of months.
6 months.
Yeah, since November, October.
Coming in October. Well, what are we looking at?
Yeah, exactly. You're asking me. I can tell you today.
You looked at me a little funny when I asked. So
that's all I have.
Mark, you got anything?
No, I'm all talked out, Mayor.
Okay. John? We're good. All right. Do we have a need for a closed session?
We do, Mayor.
Okay.
I didn't ask.
All right. Turning it over to you.
Resolution 182, authorizing the Township Committee to convene in closed executive session to discuss matters which may involve personnel and/or legal matters. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the Township Committee may need to enter into closed executive session at one or more times during this meeting to discuss matters permitted under law, including but not limited to the following. We have one legal matter to discuss, contract negotiations / potential settlement discussion, anticipated disclosure 1 year. Whereas the minutes of said closed executive session will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes shall be made available to the public in accordance with law. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee, Township of Egg Harbor, County of Atlantic, and State of New Jersey, that the public be excluded from this meeting during such portions of the meeting as the governing body may deem necessary to discuss the matters set forth above. Also, we may or may not be taking action after this executive session, so we will be coming out and then you'll make a decision.
Did you hear that?
So he's got to stay
You got
around.
it. Okay. All right. Very good. Can I have a motion to go in closed session? All in favor? Aye. Do I have to do a roll call now? I actually do have to do a roll call. Roll call, please.
Castellano?
Yes.
Clausen?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes. I think they're all pretty fine.
Yes. I think we're just going to move on to resolution 187, which we addressed in closed session. Can we,
On resolution.
can I have a second to adopt resolution 187? We have a first, can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Crowner? Yes. Tom, do you have anything else for us?
No, ma'am.
All righty.
All right. So with that being said, meeting adjourned.